Okay. Are you ready, Eddie?
I'm ready.
I am
I'm
so sorry,
here.
but I am so grateful for you finally calling because I've been wanting to talk to you guys for a long time.
Great.
So tell me, we like to call this the first date interview, so I can get to know
The
you a
first
little bit,
date
and you can get to know the
interview.
listeners a little bit, and
Hmm.
basically, I heard about you like a year and a half ago. A friend of mine brought me, maybe about a year ago, brought me your CD and said, you've got to check these guys out. And since
Hmm.
then, I've missed two shows where I was trying to get to the show to see you guys. So I haven't seen you yet, but you were with Trivian and In Flames one time. And I think another time you
Uh-huh.
were playing this little tiny venue. So tell me about the band. Tell me how you guys all formed and how you guys all got together.
We just, Tony, Peppa, and I decided to form a band to write the music that we really wanted to listen to. And, we got into a studio a couple of times and started writing some music. And I think we wrote Falling Down, and we looked at each other and we're like, wow, this is a good song, and we should be playing this in front of people. And we
Yes.
turned it into a real band.
Very cool. And how does the name King come to be?
It came out of absolutely nothing. We were trying to, come up with a name that meant something and was going to change the world, and we just realized that that was stupid. And Tony came up with the name King, and we were like, okay, let's call it King, but let's put a Y in front of it where the I should be, so we could so it doesn't have to mean royalty or, you know, take anything away from Elvis Presley. So
Nice.
we just we turned it into King. But now everybody thinks we're a bunch of Koreans, but whatever.
Okay. Okay. Why not? Sure.
Yeah,
So Trampleton, that's been out for about a year. Came out September 27th of last year, right?
of last year, yes.
And you guys have been on the road, I think, since then. Where are
Pretty
you right
much.
now?
Been nonstop. We just pulled into a venue in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Nice.
Excuse me.
Oh,
And
that's
we're here with Seether and I Empire.
right. The triple threat
Yeah.
tour that's down to a duo threat.
Yeah, yeah.
What
Double
happened there?
threat
Did
now.
you hear what happened? Why Sick Puppies pulled off?
You know what? I don't know. We kind of keep our heads out of the whole drama.
Oh.
But I know there was some static between something, and I don't know. They just pulled out, and we're like, okay, I guess it gives us longer time. It gives us a little bit longer of a set.
Very cool. So how is Seether on the
We
road?
didn't mind. Seether's awesome.
Very cool.
Very cool guys, very cool crew. Like they've been nailing it every night, and the nicest guys that we've met in touring. Man, they gave us literally the shirt off their backs.
Very cool.
They're awesome people. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. And you've been on the road with like almost everybody already, and it's only been like your first year on the road with like In Flames and Trivium and then Hell Yeah and Clutch. And 10 years had great things to say about you. I talked to Tater for like, God, he went on and on about how awesome you guys are. And then,
Tater's awesome.
and then you guys are getting ready for also to get on the road with Megadeth, right?
Yeah, that's the next tour. I think Tony and I are going to be flying home for about 2.5 weeks, and then Pep is going to be hanging out with the dudes from Clutch, and then we're going to come back and meet up. I think we're going to meet up in Jersey and drive down to Albany or something like that, and start I think we have one headlining tour, and then we start the Megadeth tour.
Very cool. Are you excited?
Show. I'm totally excited. Are you kidding? I mean, this is a huge deal for us. We're all big Megadeth fans. One of my favorite bands. Growing up for sure. And they're doing Countdown to Extinction, which is one of my favorite Megadeth albums as well.
Right.
So it's gonna be a blast. I mean, I can't wait. I mean, we're really, really, really excited for this one, and it's just gonna be Megadeth and us. So
That'll be awesome.
we're doing backflips right now as well, so that's cool.
Quality time with Dave Mustaine.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna get quality time with Dave Mustaine, but
In his
it's gonna
presence.
be
We'll just
awesome
call it in his
watching
presence.
Megadeth every night. Yeah, in his presence, exactly.
Very cool, very cool. Now, for those who haven't heard the sound yet, because you guys are still kind of at that emerging kind of scene, what I've heard, and from my listening to the CD, which is awesome, by the way, I really like it.
Thank you so very much.
It's got a little Toadies and Mastodon. You've got a little bit of Jesse Leach going in there, kind of sounds like.
Okay.
And then, taking Tater's words, louder than Motorhead, Sabbath, and Clutch, and the vocals of Chris Cornell. And then he said that
Wow.
Pepe is one of the greatest fucking drummers in rock. So that to me
He,
was like hey, I should probably check into these guys.
quite possibly, he might be. Yeah, I mean, it's all there. We don't deny any of our influences. We're big fans of Black Sabbath and Soundgarden and Queens of the Stone Age and Zeppelin and Cream and
And
all
it's
those bands. I think if you could pick it out of the album, we probably picked it out from that
right,
band.
right.
Yeah.
And it's cool because listening to the CD, like, it starts off and you think that you know where you guys are going, and then you guys go in like a totally different direction. Like, as soon as I think I've got you guys pegged, something else happens and it's like a totally different sound, which is wicked cool because it all kind of ties together in this funky, weird kind of way.
Yeah, we someone said it. We have this. Every song has its own personality. It just kind of shape shifts into it. You don't know if it's a rock and roll album. You don't know if it's a metal album. It has like some alternative notes to it, and the thing that ties it together are the vocals. I mean, we could have had some heavy riffs and screamed and did some throaty vocals over it, but that just wouldn't have been us. So we wanted to make sure that the vocal parts are all there, lining the heavier riffs and the lighter songs and stuff like that. As long as the vocals kind of stay similar, that'll tie it together. Whatever we do, we could write a thrash metal, like 3 thrash metal songs, and as long as the vocals are similar, it's gonna line up.
Uh-huh. Right. So, as a vocalist, who are your like top 3? Who's your influence top 3?
Oh, top 3. Let me see. I don't know. Of course, Soundgarden, Chris Cornell. I would say, Robert Plant, Steve Winwood.
Uh-huh.
I guess I could kind of go on. Maynard,
Pay homage.
Lane Staley, yeah.
Very cool. Very
honorable mentions, yeah.
Nice. Now, you guys just getting a vibe from everything I've heard, everything I've seen. One, the shows are awesome, and I've got that from a lot of friends who have gone to see the shows. But you guys look like you're a lot of fun to be around. Like you're having a great time.
Well, you know what? We are having a good time. We're having an absolute blast. I mean, this is kind of, as I said before, it was kind of a last hurrah for us. We're just kind of trying to get a band together and make something happen. And for it to have snowballed into this machine and become as not that it's huge, but it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And every day something new is happening, and every day we're getting news of cooler stuff that's happening for us. So it's all bonus from here on out. We just thought we were going to have this cool little band and kind of play some shows and some gigs in LA, and it turns out we're on tour and we we're playing with Megadeth. How huge is that? Like.
And someday you may get to go back home.
And someday we may get to go back home. We played with, we did the Orion Fest, which was absolutely outrageous because we got to meet and hang with dudes from Metallica, and they were just telling us, James was telling us how, he liked the band and stuff like that, and we got to tour with Red Fang and the Sword, which we're huge fans of. And,
right.
It's all happening. It's crazy. It's all bonus from here on out.
Now, when you meet guys like James Hetfield, and I mean, these are like big dog, old time, like awesome rock gods. Do you want to sit down and just record the moment? I mean, how do you hold on to that moment?
You try to mentally record it, and you try to save every detail,
Uh-huh.
It was crazy, that whole Orion. Tony and I, Peppa, we each have a similar story, but slightly different,
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, it's just outrageous. You try not to be a fanboy, but how can you not? It's James Hetfield,
Right. Yeah. I'm with you.
Same with Dave Mustaine. We're just gonna be like, what do? You don't want to geek out, but you're kind of gonna.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So you've been on the road with all these bands. Who's got a good show? Who's like you guys have been seeing everything, especially at the Orion Fest. You're watching all kinds of bands.
Yeah.
What's impressing you?
You know what? I don't know. I think everything we've kind of done was all these other bands were just nailing it. I thought it was kind of cool when we toured with Danzig, and they did this trilogy. What was it? Legacy, the Legacy tour. and
Uh-huh.
he did some Sam Hain stuff and Danza stuff, and he did a lot of Misfit stuff. And at a moment, I think it was about 20 minutes of pure Misfit stuff. Doyle comes out, and he's just dressed up in the whole, get up with the Misfits makeup and the, Devil's Lock, and they come in, they start doing a whole lot of Misfits tunes, and I thought that was pretty awesome to see, and we got to see that every day.
That's
For about
very
2
cool.
weeks straight, yeah.
That's very
Big
cool.
band, we really love that. It's a band, Monstro, I don't know if you've heard of them, but they're an amazing band. They have great music, great songs, and their songs are great,
And who is that?
Performances are super cool. Monstro from Atlanta.
Monstro. I'll check them out.
Yeah, very, very cool band, very 70s driven rock and roll.
Very cool. Very cool. Now, are you guys talking about your CD's been out for about a year, so are you thinking about going back and doing some writing?
Oh, it's what we've been doing this entire time. Yeah, we have all kinds of before we went on our first tour, we already had about 3 songs canned away. That didn't make the album. As a matter of fact, there's a song that we play in the set called "Burn the Serum" that we've been playing since we started touring, just because we like the song so much, and it didn't make the album because the album was already recorded before that song was finished.
Uh-huh.
So, our first tour, we've been playing that song ever since we've been touring, So
Right.
that's blocked away, it's recorded. We have another song called "Used as a Fool," which we unveiled at Orion Fest, and that's cool. We kind of throw that one in every now and again. We'll probably be playing that on the Megadeth tour.
Uh-huh.
And we have about 10 songs ready to go. So when we get back home in early December, we're going to try to finish out and write the rest of that album and go into the studio and record like maybe all of January or something like that.
Very cool. So back out on the road by springtime.
Yeah, we'll be on the road by February. I'm pretty sure. If management, the label has it their way, we will never go home.
Well, there's glory in that, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something happening. And once again, we like being home, but we like being on the road just as much,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's awesome. That's very cool. So, sideline, we've got Halloween coming up. You got a favorite scary movie?
Favorite scary movie? Let me think. What scared the crap out of me when I was a kid? Check the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original. That one scared the crap out of me, so much so that when the movie was over, I couldn't eject the videotape out of the VCR.
That's kind of traumatic.
That was like 85 or something like that. So I was a kid.
Oh, wow. So do you avoid Texas for this reason?
No, we avoid Texas because we hate driving through it. Driving through Texas is the worst. It's like 20 hours straight across. And for whatever reason, all our tours had started, like, let's say Louisiana or something. So we'd have to drive through Texas, like, overnight, and it was just horrible.
Little Children of the Corn action.
They had these weird postings where it's like, you can only drive, 55 at night and 75 in the daytime, which is weird, and we're always driving through the night, so it's really slow and boring.
Nice.
But yeah. Nice. I'm totally into The Walking Dead. That series is pretty catchy. When I started watching that was, it got me hooked right away. So Pepe and I try to watch it every Sunday when it's on,
Oh, that's very good. See, I'm bad. I watch it on Netflix because I'm horrible at keeping dates. I can't come and show up every week. So I gotta wait for it to finish and then get loaded into Netflix.
we gotta keep it. We got there's little gifts at the end of certain weeks when you're on tour, and if you could find it, it's always kind of an adventure because we're either driving to another venue or stuck somewhere, and we drive ourselves. It's literally Tony, Pepe, and me in a van with gear and merch, and we're going from place to place. We have no crew. We've not had a crew at all. And so it's kind of an adventure when we're trying to find The Walking Dead or something we want to do.
Nice.
We'll be running into gas stations like, hey, can we take over your TV for an hour? And they're like, sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. You guys haven't graduated out of the van yet? I had heard you'd moved on.
Our move on is a small trailer that it's an add-on, more of a move on.
Oh, okay. So you're expanding. That's good.
A little bit. You know, hopefully, if we're playing with Megadeth, maybe by the time we're opening up for, I don't know, Rush, we'll have a bigger band.
That would be very cool. I wish you the best of luck in your endeavors in your search for a larger moving object.
Oh, thank you. Maybe we could we'll leave a hat out on stage and people put tips in it.
Very cool. Do you have a favorite track on the CD?
A favorite track on the CD? They're so different. I don't know. I like a lot of them. I like all of them, of course, but my favorite,
Right.
I can't really say. I mean, I know Trails in Vain is fun. I mean, The Roses hurts every time I hear it. That one sucks. Emotionally, of course.
Yeah.
Cool is cool, and I don't know. You know what? There's a cool song that not very many people heard because, I mean, if you buy it on iTunes, you got this song. It's a bonus track if you buy it on iTunes.
Uh-huh.
And it's called "Cloud of Endless Tears," and it has this really cool little sing along at the end, and it sounds like there's 160 people all singing the same line, and it's really cool. If you haven't heard it, find it. It's on iTunes. It's called "Cloud of Endless Tears,"
Very cool.
and it's not on the physical copy. Yeah, I mean that's such a cool song. I mean, I think it deserves a little more attention than it got because a lot of people are getting the physical copy and not really buying from the iTunes, so it's not really getting heard. Hopefully, since the album's been out for about a year, I think the label's going to do something kind of cool with vinyl. Like we might get a few vinyls.
Oh,
and
cool.
they're going to put all the tracks on the vinyl, so if you buy the vinyl, you have all the tracks.
Very cool.
Hopefully they'll put it on the hard disk, on the CD itself as well.
Oh, that would be cool, too. Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
I like
I'd like to
vinyl.
see that
I'm a
happen.
fan of vinyl.
Yeah, we're thinking that it's going to be pretty damn cool because, I don't know if you're familiar with the album, but, the artwork was done by Cam DeLeon, who did a lot of the Tool art.
Uh-huh.
And stuff like that. So it's a big white album with, like, these hands and this sun in the middle. I think it'd be pretty awesome if you pull out the record that the vinyl is actually white as well.
Yeah.
And it could be the sun. So we're going to try to make that happen.
I think that would be awesome. So are you following totally off topic? Are you following the Mars rover at all?
No.
No.
No,
I totally took you guys for kind of geeky nerds sometimes. No?
That's so weird. No, not at all.
Oh, okay.
Weird. Now,
I was going to ask you about aliens, see if you've seen any aliens, but, that's cool.
When I was a kid, I've seen this. I don't know what it was. I mean, it was a big red UFO type looking thing.
Uh-huh.
And it freaked me out, man. I remember seeing it, and when I ran to the front of the neighbor's house to, frantically call them outside, I was like, "Get out of here!" By the time I went back, that thing was gone. It was really weird. It was the weirdest thing ever, and I wasn't on drugs either because I was like 10.
Very cool. No, I dig it. I believe you totally saw an alien or a UFO.
It was, I don't know what it was. It could have been a blimp, but that had to have been a fast-moving blimp. I don't know.
That's all right.
But totally believer in, like, ghosts and spirits and stuff like that, so that's fun.
Well, yeah, especially if you break down in the middle of Texas, It's good to have a little bit of fear factor before you even get out of the van.
It's a lot scarier. Louisiana's a little scarier than Texas.
Really?
All these weird fields that are everywhere else. And we went to go visit a friend in the middle of nowhere, and it was pretty creepy. And then they have all these bugs that are just making this crazy noise. Yeah, it's kind of scary.
Awesome. I don't mean to scare you in the middle of the day, but
yeah, thank you for that. Well, it's Halloween, so it's okay.
Anytime, I'm here for you. Very cool. Well, I just want to thank you so much for taking the time. Very excited about the CD. I dig all of it. It's just, I don't know. There's something I could listen to it for hours and not get bored with it. So,
thank you so very much.
I do wish you guys the best of luck, and hopefully you guys will swing back around my way soon, and I'll get to. So it'll eventually happen.
All right.
Very cool. Well, I wish you guys the best and hope that we get to hear you soon. Hear some new stuff too. I want to go check out the rest of those tracks.
Yeah, come on out to a live show. You're here 2 songs.
Okay, cool. Very cool. Well, you guys drive safe, and I wish you the best of luck.
Will do. Have fun.
Thanks, Eddie. Bye-bye.